Hi, I'm Erin, and this is Our Craft Table. And today I am making Christmas crack. It's a really interesting name, so I think it's going to be really good. Christmas crack is Saltine Toffee candy, and I came across this recipe a couple of weeks ago, and I've been dying to try it. I'm going to link the original recipe below. I changed it a little bit because I accidentally got the wrong thing, so I made one little revision which hopefully won't change it too much. But this came from the Love Foodies website. Like I said, I'll link to the original recipe below. But the recipe as I'm making it, at least we'll see how it goes anyway, calls for a sleeve and a half of crackers, saltine crackers, 1 1/4 cups of unsalted butter. That's a lot of butter. I think maybe that's part of the reason why it's called crack, because it's definitely not good for you. 1 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, which also not necessarily good for you, but definitely tastes good. And an 8-ounce package of milk chocolate toffee bits. That's where my recipe differs, because I ended up getting the English toffee bits, and I did get 8 ounces, so at least I did that right. But since it does not have chocolate, I decided that I would melt some chocolate from just a regular old Hershey Bar and drizzle it on top at the end. I think that should be just as good. So the recipe says to melt together the butter and sugar until it's boiling, and then boil for another 3 minutes. And I'm not gonna lie, that part is a little intimidating, because I've never actually made candy before, and I'm a little bit scared of getting burnt. I don't think I will, because I'm pretty careful in the kitchen, but I know that sugar can get kind of out of hand sometimes, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. So the recipe says to put down a layer of saltines, and you need to butter your cookie sheet, well, your baking sheet first. It needs to be a baking sheet with sides, and butter it. And even if you put foil down, which I've done because I didn't know how sticky this would get, you still need to butter it. So I did that, and now I'm just putting the saltines down. You might not be able to see this part on camera, but I'll get to a point where you can see it. There we go. I see off camera that my butter and sugar is starting to go a little bit. Starting to melt. Not quite at boiling, but we are definitely getting to a nice melty stage. I would show you this, but seriously, I'm afraid to handle the camera and deal with the sugar mixture at the same time, because I just really don't want to burn myself. Yeah, I'm a scaredy cat. I'll admit it. So gonna keep putting these down, but I think this should be good. I mean, butter and brown sugar and saltines, toffee. I think that's a pretty good combination. And not to forget the chocolate. Chocolate is always good. I think I'm gonna break up like little half pieces of saltines to go over here when I get to the end. Butter and sugar is getting really melty. Oh, and also you're supposed to have your oven preheating to 400 degrees. So that's going on too. Got a lot going on here. So, I usually don't make candy for Christmas. I usually just, make Christmas dinner, and Not really so much of a dessert because, you know, with the kids, with their stockings, they usually get all types of candy, and, you know, it's usually not very necessary to have an additional dessert or any additional candy, but, you know, why not try something different? This year I think I'm going to be doing like a Christmas breakfast instead anyway. I'm not sure about that, but I think that might be easier than doing Christmas dinner. But at the same time, True said she really wants turkey. And it's funny because she really wants turkey because when we went to my sister's house, well, we went to my cousin's house for Thanksgiving, but my sisters don't really eat turkey, and my cousin's kind of indifferent about turkey, so we didn't have turkey for Thanksgiving. But, I mean, turkey is delicious, but what my sisters and my cousins and I all made for Thanksgiving was definitely very, very good. So, you know, we weren't necessarily missing it. We had ham, roast beef, we had chicken, there was like a baked chicken, we had, oh gosh, all types of sides and things like that. So now I'm breaking into the second sleeve. I don't think this is going to be a half a sleeve of saltines that I'll need, just a few. Okay, the sugar is starting to boil. I'm not even going to lie, I am nervous. I am really nervous. Okay. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I need to break up a couple. It's so funny, Shadow is over here. I mean, Smokey. Shadow is always good. She never comes over. Smokey is over here trying to see what I'm doing because she can probably tell that I am filming and she wants to be a part of it, but she knows better than to jump up on things on the kitchen counters and definitely not anywhere close to the oven, so at least we're not in danger of her getting into anything over here and getting hurt. Oh gosh, okay, it's boiling. It's boiling for real. I only have it on medium and it's boiling so high. Like, this is a good little boil. It's not going to boil over or anything like that, but it's definitely looking like candy. I'm glad this isn't a recipe where you need a thermometer because I bought a candy thermometer a long time ago because I had the intention of starting to make candy and I never did it. And then it's one of those things where I packed it away and I haven't seen it since. So one day I'm going to run across it, and when I do, maybe I'll actually make some candy. Okay, I am going to ask the kids to come get the cats because they are making me nervous. They're both kind of hovering around like they smell food. Not that they would ever eat anything like this, but they know that when I'm in the kitchen, sometimes they get a little piece of ham or a little piece of turkey or something like that since we have lunch meat. But I'm not doing that right now, and I just don't want them to get hurt. So I am going to call Coy and True, and hopefully they can come and get the cat. Oh my gosh, look at that yummy goodness. Okay, I'm really nervous about transferring this to the oven. So let me see, what am I supposed to do? Okay, so I place it all over the crackers. And I'm going to stick it in the oven for 5 minutes. So, be back in 5 minutes. Okay, it is 5 minutes later. And seriously, That was like the scariest thing that I've ever done. I'm not even gonna lie. It was the scariest thing I have ever done with food. I put the cracker mixture in the oven, and that was actually okay because the butter and sugar kind of sealed over the cracker so it wasn't jiggly. But when I took the crackers out, I'm gonna kind of jiggle it right now. Actually, it's starting to gel up again pretty quickly, but when I took it out, it was really jiggly. I was very, very concerned that some of the sugar mixture was gonna get on my hands. It didn't. I was very, very careful, but I think that if I do make this again, I'm gonna make it with a pan, I don't know, with higher sides, maybe make it like in two, like into like 2 baking pans or something, so that the sides are way higher, because I was really, really nervous about the sugar coming off. And you have to be careful with that. You can get a very, very bad burn with sugar. I'm having a lot of trouble opening this pack. Let me see. But yeah, you can get a very bad burn with sugar, so you don't want to mess around with that. Sorry, I had to go over and get something to open this with. So, about to put in the toffee bits, and it's this whole this whole bag of toffee that goes over. Really? That seems like a lot of toffee. I'm not even halfway through the bag yet. That really seems like a lot of toffee. I think I'm going to do just half a bag. So I'll put the recipe the way I did it in the description box. But you know, you can make it any way you want to. You can make it the way the original recipe shows. You can make it modified like this. That's the beautiful thing about cooking. You can do whatever you want. And usually it turns out fine. So, like I said, I was going to melt some chocolate, so I did. I put that Hershey Bar in the microwave. And I microwaved it for 30 seconds. And I stirred it. And I microwaved it again for another 30 seconds. And it's pretty much perfect like this. So I'm going to take this and just kind of drizzle it. And make sure it's totally melted. It got a little bit stiff again in some spots because I let it sit there for a minute. But there we go. So I'm just going to kind of drizzle this. And there's some bigger clumps on there. I don't think that's really that big of a deal. This isn't melting chocolate, so you know, it's, you know, not necessarily gonna like spread out very, very nicely the way I would like it to, but I think it's pretty good. And really, if I wanted to get really fancy with it, I could use a fork instead of a spoon and just, you know, kind of fling it all over the place. But I'm also trying to be somewhat neat because I don't want to have a big messy cleanup after I'm done. So, I have almost all the chocolate. Also, you know, it doesn't have to be perfectly even, I don't think. I think that's part of the beauty of handmade treats. You know, just like handmade anything, crafts and things like that. The beauty is in the imperfection. Isn't that deep? So, I think this is pretty good the way it is. I'm liking the way this looks. And see that? Enough on the spoon for me to be able to have a nice, good lick. So, of course, the person who makes the treat gets to lick the bowl and the spoon. That's the rule. Especially if your kids are somewhere else and they have no idea what you're doing. If your kids are around, then they might know what's going on, and they'll ask to lick the spoon, but nope, sorry. I was the one who put myself in harm's way trying to get this sticky hot candy into the oven, so I get the spoon. So anyway, let's see what the recipe says. It says remove from the oven and sprinkle the milk chocolate toffee bits all over, which we did. We did the toffee bits, which were not milk chocolate, so I sprinkled some melted milk chocolate on top. Allow to cool completely and then break into pieces. It does not say how long it takes to cool completely. I think it's going to take a while. I will let you know at the end of the video and in the description box how long I let it cool. Right now, I feel like it needs to cool for a little while longer. It still looks very, very wet. I'm definitely not going to put my finger in it to touch it, so I'm going to let it sit for a little while. And then I'm going to break it up into pieces, and I think I'll just, you know, have Coy add a little picture of what it looks like broken up into pieces, and maybe we'll do a little taste test after that. So anyway, that's it, and hopefully this will turn out well. It smells very good. Sorry I kicked the camera. It smells so good though. It's buttery, and you know, you can smell the toffee, you can smell the chocolate, and I really want to dig into this. So hopefully it won't take too long to cool. And then I'll be able to let you know exactly how delicious it is, because I have no doubt that this is going to be delicious. So until next time, I really appreciate that you took the time to watch this video. Thank you so much for being here, and see you soon. Bye.